tourism in a city relates to that city. Imagine contributing to its development and allowing thousands of people to receive treatment in Yalova at 1/3 of the prices in Istanbul. I believe we can help save lives and experience this excitement in Yalova. At this point, Kerim, Koray can now come to Mersin and they can still see the background of our work in Mersin on Google. Yes.
We are not that country. Which country's people is this? Is it possible for us to engage in health tourism? What do your knowledge and experiences indicate with people from which country to Kırıkçay?
I can say something like this. I think we can be very bold in this matter. In other words, Yalova, as I mentioned, we have had experiences with countries over Kırık in our past. In those countries, it was small and filled. We also had experiences, Yalova is actually like a world city where people from every race, every group, and every socio-cultural level in the world can live. And at this point, as people of Yalova city, we need to approach with confidence that we, who operate in Yalova, will progress towards becoming a global city. We have no shortcomings in this regard. I say this very clearly. And of course, there are countries that we prioritize and target for Yalova. I can perhaps say this at the outset, especially right now, for example, from the United States. We have some contacts regarding many patients coming to Yalova. Like what? For example, we can very easily conduct checkup tourism in Yalova. And we can very easily conduct thermal tourism. Let me tell you something interesting again. Muslim communities living in distant geographies, especially in the United States, have Umrah visits. Christians have pilgrimage visits. These are an alternative where they will continue their visits after a checkup, first landing in Turkey, doing a few days of touring here, and then continuing with their Umrah or pilgrimage visits for both Christians and Muslims. We have potential as a stopover point. Additionally, this is important. North African countries, especially Algeria, Morocco, as you know, due to our group's owner having some business investments in Morocco. In Algeria, we also have past business experiences and connections. Libya, North African countries. But perhaps more than that, especially many countries in Africa currently having issues with France. Senegal, Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Gabon could be the new definition of Africa's developing or relatively wealthy countries. And again, in the Gulf Arab countries, there are already a large number of people residing in Yalova, and we have Arab citizens. People from all over the world, from different countries, geographies, from Iraq, from the Gulf countries, come and live in Yalova. And the most important process is in Central Asia. We will conduct a serious study regarding Yalova. From there, to be clear, we are planning a project where Yalova will come to the forefront in health tourism in many countries at once.
This might be the direct answer to your question right now.
I have prolonged it a lot.
Isn't that what you're saying, Professor?
Especially starting with African countries, quickly to Yalova with Gulf and Arab countries, hopefully, in a few months through funds and insurance companies. This is very different, not like an individual weekly visit. Especially with fund agreements and insurance agreements, around $10 million in turnover, 1 or 1.5 years, within 2 years. We really want to bring it based in Yalova. This is our goal anyway. Yes, Professor Kevin.
Now, health tourism, health tourism, health tourism, tourism, health tourism, tourism, health tourism, health tourism. What could be your expectations from the elected and appointed officials in Yalova? What are you expecting? What would you like?
I can express it like this. Firstly, especially, when we summarize it as elected and appointed, yes, let's include NGOs in this as well. Those who are devoted to Yalova or have any kind of duty related to Yalova, and especially with our health tourism. In fact, as I tried to emphasize earlier, I'm talking about a topic that offers job opportunities in over 20 sectors an opportunity for international business development. There is something everyone can do in this regard. For example, the Chamber of Commerce can invite the executives of international companies they are in contact with regarding Yalova to visit this city, or from here to abroad. When we go abroad for fund agreements in the health sector, for meetings with insurance companies, together with our businessmen, we can go abroad together and enable them to integrate with business people and business circles there, where they can produce work together. Beyond all this, actually, our provinces, I say this because I know the governor's heartfelt approach on this matter, especially good in health tourism, together with the tourism directorate, the health directorate, our private hospitals and our public hospitals, actually, under its roof, under its auspices perhaps, including health status in Yalova's promotional area regarding these topics, would be my greatest expectation.
Thank you very much. It was very important for Yalova. Dear Professor, as you know, Yalova's thermal district has natural thermal spring waters, and in very old times it was ranked in Europe as a healing water. We also have thermal springs in our Armutlu district. For health tourism, we have thermal spring waters, our sea, an oxygen source, and 65% of our area is forest, a road, but a paradise. I mean, what do you say? Along with these thermal waters, our nature is beautiful. We have the sea. We have many sandy advantages on three sides. What is your perspective on this point?
Now, I can say something like this.
In short, is everything available?
Look, as I said, I gave an example from Mersin in the past. I might have mentioned at the beginning of our conversation the point where I criticized myself. I mean, where everything is so together. 1 hour in Istanbul, the old district of Istanbul. I told Coach that I went to Nişantaşı in 1.5 hours from here. It was 1 hour and 45 minutes. Rest assured, you go to Nişantaşı in the same amount of time from Kurtköy, which is 5 minutes away from Sabiha Gökçen. So to Istanbul, perhaps easier to reach than places on the periphery. Within Istanbul itself, truly almost. Within Istanbul, here, with İdo, we have the chance to enjoy a pleasant ferry boat journey back to both the European and Asian sides of Istanbul. And its thermal facilities, I mean, it's unbelievable. Truly in Europe, especially with Germans leading, we need to really work on making Yalova quickly recognized as part of a 2.5 billion euro market each year. And perhaps over time we can also provide it with as much brand value in Turkey as Pamukkale, because there is absolutely no downside to it. In what sense am I saying this? Especially here, the thermal facilities, the quality of the thermal water, and its madness, and so on are very well established. And the promotion is at an admirable level.
Nature also adds to this.
On one side you have the forest, on the other side you have the sea.
Transport rules.
You have thermal facilities. I truly believe these should be recognized worldwide as a pattern in health tourism.
So, how many years have you been in Yalova?
It feels like years. Yes, it's a very interesting thing. I can say this. I come to Yalova as if I'm coming to a new place, and then I leave. But for the last 2 years, I've had the chance to come and go here very closely. But buddy, it feels like I've been in Yalova for years. I've truly internalized and embraced the city. I feel like a Yalova native.
You certainly look like it. I say this with my legendary status. So, sir, what are the goals and objectives here of the Atakent hospitals, which are part of the Akkurt Group regarding health tourism? Because I am a journalist who is closely familiar with the performance shown by this hospital in Yalova after its acquisition. It also invested in the Orhan, Gazi, and Gemlik districts of Bursa. There is a very large hospital investment in Gebze, and I know there is one in Kocaeli as well. There is an Akkurt Group that has achieved very successful ventures in different sectors. What are their expectations from entering the healthcare sector, especially hospital management?
Well, let me answer sincerely. Again, when I met with the president of our group, Mr. Kemalettin Akurt, I truly thought that he, along with his family, and even his son, who is also our board member, Mr. Omerkan Akurt with Turkey, was a true lover of Yalova. Because when we sat down and talked about our vision and goals, I saw that he embraced these goals at least as much as we did. And as a hospital group, we consider ourselves a pioneering institution for Yalova. Let me say that. Not just as something we will achieve or succeed in ourselves, for the sake of this city, with the aim and principle of doing our best together in a pioneering and inclusive structure for Yalova, actually. Our goals are very big. We have a dream, a goal to globalize the name of Atakent and Yalova with our health investments in those countries, primarily in Africa, by establishing partnerships and collaborations in many international countries, perhaps even abroad soon. As one of the leading hospitals, Edo, in a city that will be an alternative health tourism destination to Istanbul in Turkey, we aim to expand this further with our health investments in Izmit, Genlik, and Bursa. I say this sincerely.
So lastly, it has been a few years since other health institutions in Yalova started to provide service. What is the application of the health tourism infrastructure of our Yalova Training and Research Hospital?
Well, of course, let me say this. Comfortably again, there is no situation where anyone can evaluate whether it is structurally suitable for health tourism. I cannot overstep my bounds at this point, but I can say this. No, perhaps even beyond that. For example, many Asians, Kunits, and our doctors in Yalova are known and heard of in many countries. And we hear that patients even come here. And you feel proud of this. I am proud, of course. Today, when we enter the page of our ministry, we have agencies that have received health authority certificates. A health tourism association has been established. Our governor wants, I know Ms. Hülya from Istanbul regarding this matter. I used to follow her interest in the subject there as well. I never had the opportunity to meet her, but hopefully
It will happen here.
I would really like to after this program. I think that Yalova is truly suitable for health tourism in terms of health facilities. As we experience it at this point, I believe it is like this. Yes, our training and research hospital and the provincial health directorate's interest in this matter. For example, now there is a 50-bed hospital in Armutlu. As you know, a state hospital. There is now a larger hospital there. Similarly, as far as I try to follow, there is a mentality that truly wants to develop in the health sector by transforming the state hospital into an external hospital, which will also increase Yalova's bed capacity and service capacity within the country. This mentality will certainly support our global vision as well.
Yes, we have come to the end of the program, but we have exceeded about half an hour, dear director, right? As the TV Mashet family, I thank you for being our guest and for providing very important and truly beneficial information for this city on behalf of myself, my director, and my reporter. And I wish you success in bringing this project to life. We are all together.
With all my heart and sincerity, I thank you very much, especially. You came here and at least listened to us. I also thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak to the people of Yalova, the administrators of the city of Yalova, esteemed business people, and our citizens and public with whom we truly wish to walk together in this field. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
We are making it the headline of the day. We are opening a brand new chapter in Yalova with health tourism.